Hello everybody, this is your friendly neighborhood 3 tips and welcome back to another Minecraft hardcore video. In this Minecraft hardcore video, I ended up surviving 1000 days in this world. I started at February 8th and I think a little bit less than that, but I've been in this world for a little bit over a year now and I just recently died. It does suck, but I want to show you guys and give you guys a nice little world tour with everything that I accomplished throughout this world, and it's pretty hefty defty, man. It's a lot. And yeah, but we actually just spawned in this little world. This is where I first spawned, in between just a small island. And off to our distance to the left, we have a sea guardian farm, a sea temple, which is absolutely crazy off to spawn, but I ended up not doing anything with any of these two, actually. And we are on a copy because I did die on my world, so I kind of had to delete it, but I still kept the save because it would, it means a lot to me. This world does mean a lot to me. And if you guys do want to see a download link to this world, I will leave it down in the description. Just give me like 20 likes and I'll drop the download link to it. But, yep. And you guys also might be wondering, 3 tips, didn't you also die in your last hardcore series? I'm like, well, yeah, I did die in my last hardcore series. That was the second hardcore world I made because this one right here was my first one. And I wanted to make a whole new hardcore world for a series, so I didn't, because who would want to see me start up on a world that I already started up on? Rather see me go from scratch. So right here we had the second sea temple, and both of them I did raid, and only one of them had the sponge room, so I only had 38 sponge to go about. But yeah, so what we are on though right now is the cross-continental railroad I built on my world, because this brought me to the new 1.18 terrain, and I'll show you the 1.18 terrain last because that's like kind of one of the last things I finished. Well, I didn't really finish doing because I wanted to keep working on my old stuff because I want to get that basically perfect. So what we are coming across is a giant progress of a giant boat that I ended up making, and I used this with Lightmatica and I ended up building it. This is called Hijacked. If you guys don't know what Hijacked is, it's the Black Ops 2 map from Call of Duty. And I ended up placing it in my world and making a somewhat permanent base of operations for just using building supplies and getting into places. So this is just a cargo boat basically now. And it looks pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I love it a lot. Took a lot of time to build. Holy crap. It took way too much time. I actually have a replay footage of it right now I could show you of building this whole thing. It was unbelievable, dude. Oh my god. Building everything up. Absolutely bonkers. Yeah, so we got the little helicopter here. I ended up putting candles around and spamming a whole bunch of torches. And why does the rain always have to come at the worst timing too? Let's finish this. Let's get rid of this rain. Alright guys, we just cleared the rain and I want to give you guys a little tour. So yeah, basically everything on this boat is all completed. The interior, the exterior, all perfect, and I love it a lot. It's one of my favorite builds on the world so far. And I can't wait to start a whole new world too. It's gonna be absolutely crazy. That's the the plan. And I don't know if I want to do a hardcore or just a regular survival world. Let me know down in the comments of what you guys would like to see. Because I do know hardcore videos get a lot more views than, let's say, single player. And I just don't know what I want to do. I haven't really made up my mind. And right there, that was the base of operations where I basically just formed all the concrete for this boat. The concrete part took a lot more time than I thought of because I had to keep, reshaping it and reforming it, etc., etc. So we come up here. This was a little, what's called our bed right here, a little storage room, because you guys know what this map is if you guys played zombies not zombies, multiplayer Black Ops 2, one of the best things in the world. Yeah, so I got 34 sponges from those 2 seed temples. I didn't really find any other seed temples throughout my world yet, but we got scissors, diamond shovel, zombie name tags, some elytras, whatever you would have in an ender chest. But let me show you the bottom base of the hijacked map boat, whatever you want to call it. And this is where I store all my resources for all my projects in the world. We have a nice little chest room. I love it a lot. It has a lot of materials, like right here, copper. I used a lot of copper before. It got a lot of deep slate, a lot of cobble deep slate. I ended up going down below Y level to get all that, which did not which actually took a lot more time than I thought it would be, because I wanted to grab a whole bunch for different things, and sadly I did not really use any of it in this world at all. It's weird. I got a whole bunch of andesite, cobblestone, stone, a lot of things you need, and I'm pretty sure I started smelting glass, and you'll see why I was smelting glass, because I was using a lot of it for a project. A little bit of gravel. I had 2 dubs, or 2 chests worth of gravel, but it all went into concrete building, and I got a bunch of wood just farmed up too. Not as too much anymore, but it's all you need still. And yeah, let me go to the different part, the other second half of this. So this is just the natural materials you can just get off in the things. Over here is where the valuables and the farms are. And I do love how I built these rooms. It's very magnificent in my opinion. So this is like the nether and end stuff right here. We got quartz, we got netherrack, we got like, I don't know what you would call this chest. We got some end rods in there. We got some nether brick, and some bone blocks. I love the bone blocks. We had a skeleton farm. It was never really linked because it was in a mesa biome, and I just kept going to it and stuff. We got a whole bunch of TNT because I ended up using a whole bunch of shulker boxes of TNT to blow out a wither skeleton farm, which took way too much time, and I used the 2 totems during that process because I almost kept blowing myself up to death, which was not fun. I got 41 diamond blocks, I got 4 wither skeletons, 2 beacons, 37 ender eyes, dragon egg, and 15 diamonds to spare. Which I don't really know. I got all these diamonds. I never really mined a lot of diamonds because once you get your first set, God set, you don't really keep mining unless you want to. I got a gold farm, so I got a lot of gold blocks. Iron, a whole bunch of iron farms. Coal, never really converted it. Lapis, kind of ran out with all the enchants. This is where you guys would know I like to use redstone, so I got a decent amount of redstone supplies, not as much as you would have, but got a whole bunch of slime blocks because I have a slime farm, all my sugar boxes, and all the totems I have in my world. And you guys might be wondering, 3 tips, how did you die in your world? I died to a pillager raid, and it was awful. It was a bloodbath, I tell you. Yeah, so right over here, you got all the other blocks too. Concrete and wall, and this is like the worst part about this chest room. This was not organized whatsoever. I just kept throwing the concrete powder and concrete in this, and I would have made it a different chest room for all of the wall and concrete in the game, so it'll be a lot more organized. And this is my bamboo farm that I never really AFK'd, so I didn't really get anything, and this was a shocker to me because I wanted a whole bunch of scaffolding blocks. I just never really farmed because I would just never be here to AFK as much. But, ooh, excuse me, I burped a little bit, which sucked. And I would have made the extra storage unit under here. This is what it looks like underneath. So I wanted to use an extra room. It wouldn't be that bad looking, but let's just get up and I'm going to show you the rest of the world and what I got going. And why is it raining? Why is it always raining on this world? I swear to God. It's literally Great England. It's literally England, man. It rains so much. Alright guys, we are approaching my first settlement on my world, and it's where I spent the most time building and building up. But I'll show you that in a second. But right over here, this is my creeper farm that I ended up using the whole time I spent on this world. It's, hefty duty. And right here is a little music disc farm. So right here, we got a little skeleton. He would shoot an arrow, right? He'll shoot an arrow. A TNT would... Oh, dude, my dogs have to bark at the worst time, man. Oh. When that skeleton shoots an arrow because he's locked onto me, he would hit this TNT block with the flaming arrow, igniting the TNT and falling to the pool of creepers down below. And that will leave you a whole bunch of music discs. That's basically how I find some of my music discs in the world, which I liked a lot. And yeah, that's how I got it. This creeper farm worked a lot. This is how I got all my TNT throughout the world. And for some reason, these things would always come in once now and then in the little bottom part of it, which was something, right? I don't know. So that's my creeper farm that I used a lot in my world for all my fireworks and TNT. But let's go over here to where my settlement is. So this is where you follow the minecart rail. Got a little nice thing right here, and then we are gonna go right into the train station I ended up building for the new 1.18 terrain. And this is where I would have been using for a whole bunch of things because I didn't want to use my elytra that much anymore. So I basically just used a boring railway. It was just something to connect my world up to and bring a little bit more life for my world. And this is where you spam a whole bunch of torches because you don't want any mobs spawning in your in your world. And right here, this is where you get your little ticket. Be like, bippity boppity, $10 for a little train station ticket, and they'll be happy to give you a ticket. But right over here, you got the little lounge area for your little waiting room. You got a little cafeteria food, you got a little kitchen. You can have some food while you're slouching down with your family. Got little building blocks right here. Got a whole bunch of sandstone. I wanted to not make a boring little train station because I wanted to make some life into it. So I tried to go for a weird design with it. And there is the little starter area. We'll go to there in a second. And right here, this is where I got all my rails in the world. I ended up using a rail duper because it was very, very efficient. Look at that. See, I feel like rail duping is not that bad in your world. It was good. I liked it. I don't think it was anything bad that you used, so. Yep. This train station is Country Walk train station, because like cross country takes you around the whole like world and stuff. So I thought it was a good name for it. I liked it a lot. We got a little horse right here from the beginning of the world. I call him Jeep or anything else. He's basically a car. And yeah, I was gonna fix this up. I was gonna move the little path because I had this old cobblestone here connecting up. It wasn't really much detailed, so I was gonna move it a little bit in between the trees and just have this, this all back grown up. So I just wanted to move the little street to somewhere else, but this is where I didn't really finish everything. So I ended up making this whole stone. So I ended up switching it with gray concrete powder for the whole road because it looks a lot more clean. And yeah, so this is where I began my first day on my hardcore world, man. I wanted to make a whole neighborhood, and it's raining again at the worst time. I'm trying to do a video, man, and you're making my video so dull and boring, which is not fun. Let's just snap this guy out of existence. There we go. If you guys have superpowers like me, you guys can get rid of the rain just like that. But right here, this is where I began my first few days on my hardcore world. And this guy is the first house I ended up building. Because I knew I needed a little villager breeder. And each house has a purpose, and I like it a lot. And this is where I got some of my books. It's my villager breeder. This guy has protection 3, efficiency, curse of binding, unbreaking, depth strider guy. And this is where I got a lot of my food too. And food was a very big problem on my world. I always would run out of emeralds and food sources, and it was just not too great. So maybe next time on my world, I would have a better food source, so I could just keep having food. Because I would always run out now and then. And these guys, hello, how are you? You guys are chilling? Yeah, you guys are chilling. I do have screenshots that I will be putting up from the amount of time I've been on this world, so you can see all the progress I've been doing. So if you guys editing software and me, make sure to put the screenshots of what this world looked like before I started finishing it. But yeah, so right over here, you got a little nice, wheat area, I guess. I don't know. It's not really a wheat farm, it's just decoration. And you got a little melting station. You got a little beacon, a black, nice beacon. I love it a lot. And this is a house. This one doesn't really have a farm purpose to it. It was just a nice house of operations I used. The interior is done, so this is a dog that I have in real life. His name's Cosmo, and this is Wanda, off the Fairy Godparents, the show, if you ever watched the Fairy Godparents. So if you hop in here, this is what it looks like, nice little interior. You got a little room right here with just wood. I don't know what you call this room. But a little waiting room in here. You got a little barrel, nice little painting. Come over here, that would be the basement. We're not going to go in there yet. And this is the kitchen. It is very, very small. The houses I made were very compact and small. A little backyard, a little sliding glass door. I don't know, it wasn't alright. Then right here is a nice little living room. You got a nice chair, a little couch, and a little flat screen TV, man. Don't you love the flat screen TV? Very nice, high class. You got a little pantry right here and the little garage. This is where I kept my 2 horses originally, but I ended up moving them because you gotta get them an oil change. So let's just go up here. Actually, the little upstairs room. You got the master bedroom, the biggest room, one of the biggest rooms in the house. You got literally nothing in here. You can make this a bathroom or a kitchen or like maybe a little closet, walk-in closet. I don't know. But right here, this is the bathroom. You got a nice little toilet, little nice chandelier, very high class. I love it a lot. We got a dirt block right here. I honestly don't know how that ended up there, but let's just get rid of that. Nice little painting. You got one of the bedrooms right here with a potion of regeneration 2 because a late night drink. Why not go for a late night drink, man? Let's go over here. You got a nice little room, one of the longest rooms in the house. But yeah, this is awesome. And let's go to the basement. See what I got done in the basement. And right here, this is a nice little basement. This actually resembles my basement in real life, and that's why I kind of wanted it to be, because I didn't want to make everything too similar. But yeah, so this is where it would. I have a little workout cellar right here, right? And we do have a little wine kitchen right here, where we have a little wine cellar. And yep. So that goes out to the outside world, a little cellar staircase. I don't know what you call those. And this is where I slayed my dragon. So I ended up putting a dragon head right here. This really had nothing in it. It was just for display for actual storage. But this is where I had some stuff. You know, I just put the ender chest right there, and you know the dragon man there and right there. This painting is awesome. We ended up having a little spy entrance, so our spy agents can get into our spy basement. And this is actually where my first storage and world operations was, down there too. And I'll show you that in a second. But let's go up top and see the backyard actually. And it's raining again, so time, weather clear, time set day. There we go. Yep, so this has a little shed right here. You know, it's just for display, obviously. I love the backyard. I honestly do like the backyard. And this was the back of the houses. They, this house has one of the most worst details because I only had wool to go off of. I didn't really have any other like nice blocks to build anything out of. This was just another replica of the shed. And a little garden right here. I do like the garden. And I have a lot of trees planted around the backyard just for, you know, a nice view, I guess. And let's go back into the street. We're back out of the house. This is a nice house. Isn't that right, Kai? Beautiful house. I love it a lot. Here, you should come with me. Give a little bit of a tour also. And, alright, so the next stop are these two extra houses I ended up building. I love this little street. I was gonna make a whole, like, town, but, you know, that would take too much progress, and I ended up just making a little nice street. A little bit in a nice neighborhood. I like it a lot. And right here is a sheep farm. I ended up getting all my wool materials I need right here, and I ended up, oh crap. I'm sorry, Mr. Bone Block. There you go. And this is where I keep all my wool from throughout the world, right here. I like it a lot. Yeah, the only wool I forgot to grab for sheep is light gray. Light gray was not in here. I guess I forgot it. This actually took me a long time to get each color dye that I needed. And I had to get them all situated. But they're all right here. Each one. I think, are they out of, yeah, they're out of shears. Oh, yeah, the shears are all mostly all broken. That's unfortunate. Sorry, guys, that you had to live like this. Yep. So this thing, I think this house also had a backyard. I'm not too sure. Now let's go back here. Yeah, it has a nice backyard. It's not really accessible though, but the backyard is here. I got a little pond back here. I may try to make some custom trees. Let me know how these custom trees look like. And yeah, and for some reason the pillager rate is gone. And this is the house where I actually ended up dying in in the backyard. Because I was stuck in this corner, right, with like all the rhinos and the guys with the axes and the tooth fairies. I'm just kind of sounding crazy though, but yeah, I was stuck in this corner, bowling them and hitting them with a strength 2 potion. And the guy with the rhino took off my armor, right, and the vexes. Then so I tried to fly away and putting another totem in my left hand, and I couldn't do it all the way, and I ended up dying. And I was very upset because the axe dude one tapped me, and I'm like, no, I died. And I was very upset and sad because all this progress was all gone, and I was very sad. And this is just basically all the stone and stone stairs that got taken out because of the concrete of the asphalt. Basically, I was just paving away. And right here, it was a cactus farm that literally had nothing important in this world. Like, I built this, I'm like, oh my god, I want to make a cactus farm. It literally did nothing. I didn't use the cactus farm for jack of anything. Nothing. Cactus farm had no significance of anything. This is like something I built, and actually, this is almost filled up, dude. I actually never like took anything out of this chest. I didn't really think about that. Alright, so let's go on to the 2 farms. Well, actually, the 3 farms I have right here. 2 villager, well, 2 iron farms because, you know, double the iron so that I need in my world. Because one, this was my first one I built. Then it wasn't producing enough, so I made a second one right there. And it has a little sky AFK room that I never really used. So you come down here, you got all the other extra iron. I don't know, there was something to build, but on top of it, ended up using the MC slime chunk finder, and I ended up having a slime chunk right here in a good enough process. And this is where all the endermen spawn too. So it was a little bit of an enderman farm for some reason. I honestly don't know why they spawn over here, but this is where my slime farm was, and I actually never thought about it. And this is where the minecart goes around. See? Just keeps going around forever and ever, like eternity. So this was brilliant. I love how it was just like that. It was a little bit nice to have in addition for, you know, a farm to have in the world. Because it gave me so much slime. I love it. But it was too much to know what I needed to do with it, though. But yeah, so this is basically all the houses I build up doing. But let me show you the first, and it's raining again. Oh my god. I hate this world. I hate it. But let me show you the downstairs. This is the little base of operations right here. I'll show you what it looked like before, but this is where I had my first storage room, where I had to survive my first few nights in the world. It's a little bit of hobbit hole. I ended up destroying some chests because I was moving out into the little boat base, and this is where I had everything. Everything is moved out, so I don't have much resources down here. Well, this is where I kept my first chainmail set that I got from killing zombies, etc. Saddles. This is basically all the music discs I got from that music disc farm. All the sugarcane, melons, pumpkins, etc. And if we keep going down here, we have the little to-do list. I ended up, you know, basically everything I ended up needing to do was done. Basically, it was mostly just farms and sprucing up some stuff. And this is where my first enchantment table was, and it was magnificent. I used a lot of enchanting down here. This is how I got my first netherite set. Got all my enchants on it that I needed. And speaking of which, of enchants, this was the first enchant I ever got in my world for my first level 30. It was a looting 3 banner arthropods, and I still have it to this day. Some cobwebs. And this is where I keep my mending stuff too, because I don't really need it anymore. Mending and unbreaking. And if we keep coming down here, this is basically the last floor. We had the sheep farm originally down here. That's how we got enough wool for the villager house. And it was all white wool and green wool, which is cool. Come on, Mr. Doggo. Spruce that back up. A little sugarcane farm in the back. If you come back here, you got a nice little sugarcane farm. So each thing was very compact with these little things for early game stuff. And we have the melon and pumpkin farm. This produced way too much that I hoped for. And it was not that good. Oh my god. It was way too overpowered. This was always filled for some reason. Always filled. And this was my first villager training hall. This is where I got my mending, my carrots, etc. Sharpness 5, luck of the sea, name tags. This was my mending dude, custom binding, channeling. Oh, what else was you were my infinity, impaling, affinity. Feather. I couldn't get a feather falling 4, so I ended up just rolling with a level feather falling 1, and that's how I got my feather falling 4. Because I just got a whole bunch of feather falling boots and just combined it. This guy was gone. I don't know what happened to him. I don't remember. This is where I got all my food. Because food is always nice to get in the world. For some reason, I thought the labyrinth also gave you food. I don't know. Tired. Alright, so if you keep going up here, this is where it actually just leads you. It was the spy basement right here. Look at that, it just leads you back up to the little house over here I made. I love it a lot. That was a nice little addition to the world. Right? Isn't that right, Kai? Where did he go? I don't know. But speaking of which, oh yeah, to show you the last house too. Crap. This is the last house I built in this world. It was a honeybee farm, and since I updated the world or something, the bees I had in here all despawned. They're not in here anymore. I don't know what happened. I mean, I got a far decent honeycombs and some honey blocks. That's basically all I needed. It wasn't too much, but it was something good. And they all just despawned. I don't really know. I don't really like making honey farms because I don't really understand how bees work in Minecraft yet at all. I just something I don't really touch. So making a honey farm was something new to me, and it was definitely a step forward into becoming a pro Minecraft player. But now I get to show you something last bit of this world. Well, not world, but something down there I built, and I love it a lot. And I just finished it like a few days ago, and it took me some time because it took me a lot of resources to get. And also, this is the map of the world actually, of the little town area. You got the country walk, you got the farms over there, you got the little house view. This is a nice aerial view of Google Maps or something. I don't know. You got the Nether portal. We're going there in a second to go to the new 1.18 train. But if you come down here, we end up having the new trading hall that I ended up building. And it's pretty good. This is directly right under the wheat field and under the whole town. So we come in here. This has a whole bunch of history to it. I ended up doing the little roof of the nighttime sky through Green because I really like that idea that Green did. So I took some ideas off of him about it. And this is awesome. This is one of my favorite builds throughout the world. And this has basically most of the stuff I need down here. It's not complete at all. I was gonna put some labyrinth guys over here just for some books, I guess, right there. And right over here, it has a nice transition to Nether brick. In this resource pack, it's a mashup between Flips and Germsy Boys, two big YouTubers with they are incredible builders and texture pack makers, and they made this few of these textures, and I love it. So I ended up mashing both of them together. And yeah, so this is gonna be more storage right here for everything I need. Got some paintings for some nice poetry and art. We got a nice villager farm, so you got the zombie back there, and I don't want the villager dead yet. Well, I don't care if he dies here, buddy. You can get the villager. Eat him as much as you like, because the villagers have no importance to me because I ended up dying. And so back here, I ended up making a melon farm and pumpkin farm, so I can have a constant supply of emeralds from then and now. So and it's not done growing too because I just made it before I died, which absolutely just sucks. But everything is complete. Got 4 villagers, 1, 2, 3, and 4, all lined up in a row, and I love it a lot. And I ended up not be able to trade with the villagers yet because I just moved them, so they haven't really been doing much. And this is basically also where I got all my bricks in the world too, for my little train station, because I love using bricks. It's amazing. I love the block palette of bricks. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's good looking. And yep, so I got the light under here. And if you come over here, I have much more room filled out in this world. See, this used to be a big cave, right? So I mined everything out. I made it a jail cell prison for my villagers because I had too much villagers in my world, so I made a little prison. And I ended up blowing it all up and redesigning it into this. And it turns out a lot better. And that's how I got all my villagers in here. And yeah, so this is pretty cool. I want to show you guys the Nether now because I have my gold farm there, my wither skeleton farm. It's all laid out nicely so you can able to find it. So let's go there. Alright, so let's just go through the Nether. I'll show you all the oh my god, why is the fog on? Alright, so this is basically the spawn portal, right? Where all the portals are linked to, so I can get back to my town. And each path is, you know, just set and color coded. So right, yellow is my desert biome where I get all my sand in the world. The black portal, or the black line, goes to my end portal? Yeah, it goes to my end portal. And the orange goes to my wither skeleton farm. And blue over here goes back to the boat and gold farm. So let's just go over here so I'll show you the gold farm. I love it a lot right here. Can I get up there quickly? There we go. This was a giant gold farm I ended up building. It worked out fantastic. I got a lot of XP from it, a whole bunch of gold, and it's basically a giant project that you definitely need to make in each world you have because it's such a good benefactor and it allows you to do so much in your world, getting a lot of stuff done, repairing your tools. And you come up here for a few days, for like 5 minutes, and you basically repaired everything in like 2 minutes. Such a good thing, such a good farm. One of the best farms in Minecraft, in my opinion, that you can have. And before, this is the gold farm, gold storage that I got off of YouTube, and it wasn't that good actually. I never got any gold from it. Well, I got gold, but it feels like it never like filtered through. Like the gold ingots right here, it was just not good, man. For some reason, I feel like it just never went through. I don't know. I need a better design. I showed you the boat, so I'm not gonna go through the portal, but I will show you the wither skeleton farm right now. So I'm just gonna cut right to that. Alright guys, I just made it to the wither skeleton farm. I'll show you it now. And this took a pain in the ass to do. I hate making this thing. I don't think I will ever make another wither skeleton farm ever again. Ugh. Alright guys, so basically this is the wither skeleton farm, and this is where all the TNT comes in. I ended up blowing each pillar and thing to smithereens, man. It's absolutely crazy. This was a whole like wither skeleton fortress path, all completely gone. And what if you tell me why? I can't tell you, man. I just wanted to get the most increased spawn rate I could for the wither skeletons, and for some reason, the one spawned. And is he dead? I don't know. But this was the wither skeleton farm. The wither roses took me literally a month to 2 months to collect, in my opinion, because I would just come on and off getting farming wither skeletons, right? So I would have to go to the end, and I got a whole bunch of chicken eggs and like cows there, and I would just keep breeding them together, and I would just spawn the wither there, and that's how I got my wither skeleton roses, which took a long ass time because some of them would just blow up naturally, and I wouldn't be able to get it, and it would just be a pain in the ass to get. So I didn't end up completing all of, well, destroying all of it, but I ended up getting a good portion of it, and it relies here, so it wasn't that bad. The spawn rates are pretty doo-doo. Could be a lot better without the with the work I put into it. But yeah, this is the wither skeleton farm. I'll show you the last bit of my world now is to show you the 1.18 project I've been working on, but I didn't finish, and that'll be it. Alright guys, we're basically at the start of the world again, and if we continue to follow this path, this leads us to the 1.18 terrain, and I ended up updating my world during snapshot era, so I ended up getting the chunk borders, and I didn't think about it, so so I didn't get any of the biome blend, and the natural cool biome blend everybody sees now in the world because they waited, unlike me, because I'm impatient with stuff like that. So I ended up getting the giant chunk borders right here, and this was a this was something. But it was a nice little chunk border. Got a nice little water valley that connects my world a little bit. So if you come up here, this was the little train station, little subway I made with all the honeycomb blocks. And this right here is the little. Have I ever updated this? Here, let's update this right here. There we go. I had to update it. Game World Creative. There we go. And this is, make sure to use Doku Cred Resource Pack, because that's what I was building, the town, or the kingdom in. And this is Destination Kingdom of Karens, man. It's a wonderful little thing. That's not the minecart on its way. We will never be returning to this world ever again. So this is what it looked like. It was the start of the little kingdom I was building. You got a nice little plaza. This is a house that I never really finished. I got a nice little beacon right there for haste too whenever I need it. And we got the Welders Inn. This is a little B&B, a little hotel. And I gave it some kingdom things. You got a nice little view of the new 1.18 terrain. Love the mountains. Absolutely beautiful. And you got a nice little view of this. Little house room. A nice little view of this. And this is the other room right here. This is the room I usually use to sleep in for the town. Nice little king bedroom. Got a nice little Donkey Kong portrait because that so existed back in the medieval days. You got a nice little photo of another kingdom of the rival or enemy we despise. And right over here, we have a nice little town too. We got a little shop. This is where I keep my netherite chestplate because why not have a little bit of luxury and a little town window? You know, get a little bit of attention, get some marketing in there. Got a nice little draw gate into another part of the town. And right here, this is what I'm most proud of right here. D&D Tavern, Dungeons and Dragons Tavern. This is where you get your drinks, your food, where your boys and you know the boys come to hang out, the homies. You can order a nice bit of food. Love it a lot. I love the seat, the little bench back corner seat. And this has literally nothing in it. It's just the bottom. It just has a nice bottom base, the little nice bottom. And right over here is a nice little house I built. Literally has nothing finished yet. This is why I wish I haven't died in this world so I can come back to this, but sadly I cannot anymore. And what else do I have? Oh yeah, the little storage right there. I did end up getting the music disc, so let's actually turn this up so we can hear it. There we go. We gotta hear this. There we go. Love this song, but I don't know if it's copyrighted, so we're not gonna use it. Oh, we can't have two because that would make my world inefficient. There we go. Have other side like that. And this is where I keep all my blocks that I got throughout the 1.18 train. All the glass. Oh, actually, I didn't know I had that much gravel here. Okay, that would have saved me a lot more farming from the projects I've been doing down there. All the copper I used. Some redstone. Bricks. Granite. Sandstone. Moss blocks. I got some moss. I love the moss. And yeah, this is basically it. If you come over here, this was the start and there's something extra. And it was turning out pretty well. I was gonna make a kingdom over there. It would have been a nice view on the side of the little valley. And this was my hardcore world. I am sad to see it go. I survived basically 1,000 days. Well, basically 1,000 days. Oh, why am I on day 1? Well, I was on 848, even though it's not 1,000 or 900. It was basically 1,000 days in my eyes. I was leading up to it. I was very close. It was like only 150 more days to survive for it. And yeah, man. Sad to see it go. This, for some reason, it's thundering now. Weather clear. And yeah, man. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. I'll be making a whole new hardcore survival let's play very, very soon. So please stay tuned to that. And if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and put those notifications on. This is my world tour of my 1,000 days survived on my hardcore world. And thank you guys for tuning in. It means a lot. Without further ado, I'll see you guys all later. Peace.